I met a gypsy.
Yeah, that's what I was stoked. Like you've reached the. There's a few people that come on, and then you just reach like we're just friends.
Yeah.
Like I literally don't give a fuck what we talk about. Like you're just my friend, and if we sit here and talk, like I'm gonna talk to you. This conversation that we've had today is like basically the same one we had at dinner, and then except we watched Jacko Strong's quarantine at breakfast, so we didn't really talk about much at brekkie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like Luke Kidgell's like that. He just comes on and says that everyone's Sammy. You know, I like these kind of ones.
It's just easy, hey? It's easy.
Low pressure.
Because then like the first one we did, I knew you for a whole of 20 minutes before we sat down for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, I thought it went well, but it's like you're not, like we were not friends. Like we were just like, we knew each other and that was it. And then the second one's like you kind of get a bit more of a connection or whatever. And then it just gets to the point where you're like, you just chatting shit with your buddy.
Yeah.
Which I think people like, that's like what I think people like in a podcast. It's not this like, how do you feel about mountain biking? I feel great. How do you feel about podcasting?
E-bikes, eh?
Oh man.
So Dean's been asking me about. I said I'd had a story to tell him, but I was like, I actually want to save this for the podcast.
Yeah.
But so you asked me the other night. You're like, oh, so how does like you get the guests on or whatever, and people hit you up. Basically, the rule is, if you hit me up and I don't know who you are and you ask to come on the podcast, 99.99 recurring % chance that I don't want you to come on the podcast. Because to be honest, I don't even like fucking coming on here. So if you want to come on here, like you're fucking weird. No, not really. But you know, like to feel like, to me, I'm like, fuck, if this at any point to anyone sounds like I am just on this fucking thing shamelessly promoting myself, then like I'm a kook.
Yeah.
And then if I get those vibes off anyone, but like, so you hit me up, but you come like co-signed with a bunch of people, like a bunch of people had already told me to get you on. So like, there is like exceptions. But anyway, so this will tell you my level. I'm going to fucking brag about myself for a second here. My level of commitment to not having fucking shit come on the podcast. So I got sent a DM by Grant Cardone. Do you know who Grant Cardone is?
Don't know.
Type in on Instagram, Rose.
Let's get him up. I actually love how you can do this. Like, just pull it up and you're like, okay, let's have a look.
Let's have a fucking deep dive. Yeah, Grant Cardone. Bang, there you go. 3.4 million followers, public figure. Let's read his bio. Cardone Capital, undercover billionaire, 10x movement, Cardone Ventures, 10x incubator, 10x health system, investor.
I feel like
real estate training.
I feel like the thing that undercover billionaire, like that straight away is like a contradiction on itself.
I think he did a show though that was called Undercover Billionaire.
Telling everyone you're a billionaire doesn't really make you undercover though.
Yeah.
It's like imagine wearing a shirt at a party, undercover cop, and being like, "Are you a cop? No.
No. Are you a cop?
Would a cop wear this?
Yeah. Would a cop wear a t-shirt that says I'm an undercover cop?
You're being
Don't
weird.
think so, bro.
You're being weird, man."
So anyway, he puts on his story. Maybe it was like one of these posts, but he puts on there like, podcasters hit me up. I want to do 10 podcasts, or like whatever. So I like wrote in this big long email of like, hey, we've actually got this US studio, but we're in Australia. I've built this thing from scratch. This is my story. Kind of just crapped on, like did a bit of a sell.
Yeah.
Anyway, got the email back from his assistant and yep, you're booked in. It was supposed to happen yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Or what's today?
3rd or something.
Yeah, so it was supposed to happen yesterday, and then anyway, yep, you're booked in, sweet, and then here's the list of topics. So first of all, it was 20 minutes, and I was like, well, that's not really a podcast. Yeah. I'll just ask one question. So my plan is he was going to come on, and I was going to say, hey Grant, g'day, how are you? Fucking thanks for coming on. What do you think about what we're talking about wealth and being rich?
Yeah.
I was like, you're a guy that's rich. Are you wealthy? Yeah. What's the difference? And just for 20 minutes, I was just going to explore that because it's something that's been on my mind lately and I would be interested in hearing about that. I don't know if I could read the email. It's probably got some kind of like legal type clause or whatever. But anyway, basically I get sent this email back like, these are the topics. Grant would like to talk about his new Florida investment that for just $1,000 the everyday investor person can.
So and he's just like treating you as an ad.
Yeah, it was just
you're an ad.
Yeah, it was just like a 20 minutes. He'd have the same fucking speech that he'd say to everybody else. But 3.5 million followers, And, you know, probably good to fucking get to talk to a billionaire. Billionaire, I don't know how much he's worth. But...
he's undercover.
Yeah, he's undercover about it. But yeah, and I just pretty much wrote back and just said, hey, this isn't really our deal. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I basically sent back the kindest fuck you possible.
Yeah.
So, Grant Cardone, I'll email this clip to you. If you'd like to come and do the podcast properly for 3 hours with no questions, welcome on the show.
Yeah.
If not, I ain't fucking putting the Gypsy Gang through that bullshit.
It would be so good. It's like, you imagine if you just agree to it and they come on and you just ask them the question you wanted to, and then it's just like...
Oh, just fucking shit me though, eh? Like, I mean, nah, actually, it didn't shit me. The guy, like, that's probably good business. Like, he's probably doing good business. It's just not what I'm about.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but that's like the whole thing. It's like, I guess his fame or his followers can then change how you run your business, where it's like...
which I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter what you... Like, because like you said, him being on here could grow it, but it's not growing. Yeah. It's not growing it the way you want it to grow. So it's just like...
Yeah. Like that shit just does it. It isn't important to me.
Yeah.
You know, like the numbers and like getting the podcast bigger and all, like, that's good. I need that to happen. Like, that's a thing that has to happen. But like, it ain't a win at all cost type fucking scenario. Like, I'm not prepared to... I guess
that's like the same as an athlete like doping or something to get better results, but they don't really believe that like that's not the right way to do it, but you can do it. It's in a weird way similar to that. I think you can relate to that because it's like you do getting what you want, but not the way you want to get it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you can step away from that.
So yeah, that's the level of fucking...
We're doing it this way.
Yeah, I ain't fucking around with these clowns. So
maybe get him on, then you can go on a trip.
Yeah, I'd love to
get the numbers up and you can get out of here.
Get on his jet.
I guess.
But, I mean, that's the fuck. It's crazy. Like, that's the world, eh? Like,
I think it all comes down to like, what do you want to sell your soul for?
Yeah,
it's like comes down to that price. Is like, you get this, but you got to do this. And it's like, where are your values and morals? Where do they come in? And like, how far will you go with something before you're like, this is not me. But that's such a slippery slope as well, because then you're like, oh, because imagine if you did it, numbers blow up, gets real big, someone else comes, hey, I saw what you did with that guy.
Yeah.
I've got 10 million followers.
Yeah, that's what I thought about all that. But it's just like, again, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like, you could think, oh, then he could come on, then I could, but nah.
But I don't think that's a good thing though. Nah. I think that's a bad thing, because it's like you're on this slippery slope and then you start going the wrong direction. And like, I'm sure a lot of like hardcore Gypsy Tales gang fans would just be like, this is not what I'm about.
Well, the thing is too, right, is it's not even about, like, it goes a bit deeper than even like my morals or like me wanting the show to be a certain way. What happens if like someone in Florida listening to the podcast gives that dude $1,000?
Yeah.
I don't fuck it. They might not have $1,000 to give. Like, and the thing is, so that podcast that I spoke about wealth, Naval, it's on Spotify and YouTube, Naval, How to Get Rich, Naval. It's fucking amazing. It's free.
Yeah.
And it's 3.5 hours of like incredible money advice.
Yeah.
And not just money advice, just life advice in general. And everybody should read it, should listen to it. And he says, he's like, I can't charge for this.
Yeah.
Because if I'm charging money for money advice, then I'm being disingenuous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, if you've got so much money, and this is kind of this, if you've got so much fucking money that you want to tell people how to make money, why are you charging them for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you, wait, so you need more money?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not as rich as you said you were.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't see Elon Musk when he eats Doge, when he tweets Doge to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, he's not fucking charging people for that advice. He's not charging people for money advice. He's the fucking richest in the world. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Here's the fucking info, and you do it if you can, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the real thing I thought about. I was like, man, imagine if like someone listens to that podcast, trusts me enough,
and then goes and does it.
And then goes and buys whatever this dude's selling.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's what I just didn't want to fuck with.
Also,
I was like, I don't know about that. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.